No one is buying what Stacey is selling about TJ. This is the Fly on Ebony Ivory, and I have your Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 11 recap. Let's get into the episode. So we start out with Karen, Giselle, and Stacey meeting up for lunch, and they order their lunch portions. And y'all already know how I feel about TJ and Stacey. I'm not buying it. I don't think TJ is into her. And has anybody else noticed that Stacey's wigs are really bad? Really bad, okay? Give me your thoughts on that. So Karen, Giselle, and Stacey are out for lunch. And basically, Karen and Giselle are just saying to Stacey, you're just getting out of a marriage. Maybe you should just consider dating for a while and not trying to jump out of something serious and right back into something serious. So the next scene, we have Wendy, and she's invited all the girls out to a boutique. It's a really cute little boutique. Ashley says she's actually shopped there for some events as well. And Wendy is having a liberation since she's 40 and she thinks everybody can be liberated from something. Ashley going through her divorce, Stacey going through her divorce, and the liberation is going to take place in the country of Panama. Okay. And Kiana's thinking Panama City, Florida. And I'm like, girl, this is Bravo. Like, they're not sending y'all to Panama City, Florida, okay? So they're all the girls are there, and then Jacqueline shows up, and Karen is having a Love Lagoon party, and Mia says that Gordon Nor Inc. is going to be making it, and she's like, can she bring her lesbian lover? Like, nobody peeps that she's basically saying her and Jackie are lovers, like, out loud and proud, like, okay. And Karen lets her know, no, Jacqueline is not invited. This is my home. I only want to deal with people that are really there for me, and those are the only people that I want in my home. That's it. That's all. And Jacqueline doesn't have good energy towards Karen, in all honesty. So Messy Mia goes to tell Jacqueline while they're at the boutique that she can't come to the party. And Jacqueline says, oh, I didn't want to anyway. Okay, girl, we're going to see at the end of the episode if that remains true. So Jackie's like, she's not extending any olive branch to Karen. Huh? Karen don't want your olive branch. Karen wants nothing to do with you at this point. We are back at Kiana and Greg's house. Kiana lets Greg know that they're going on a trip to Panama, and he's like, is it the city or the country? And then also let's bring up the fact that when they told the girls that they were going to Panama, Kiana was like, I like European countries. Like, Kiana, you get points deducted for that BS, girl. You get points deducted for that crap. Anyway, so it's Greg, Kiana's brother, and Kiana at the house. Kiana, of course, she's excited about the trip. Greg does not seem to have an exciting bone in his body. Based on what I see, Greg comes across as an asshole, and he's miserable. Kiana reveals that he really doesn't like being on camera, but he's doing his best and trying to support her and trying to be there for her. And I'm just like, Kiana, she also says that, like, he's really serious and uptight. He likes, to cook, or he likes his dinner and his respect, and there's not really any fun in the relationship. And I'm like, Kiana, he's not the one for you. Go find your man, girl. Let your man find you. Free up the space. Greg is like traffic. He in the way. So that's all I have to say on that. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And also get into my podcast, Conversations with the Fly On, where what goes on in the house no longer stays in the house, okay? So the next scene, we have Stacey meeting up with her Aunt Dora. And I like Aunt Dora. Aunt Dora seems very vivacious. It seems like she's a youthful aunt. Stacey tells us Dora is more like her sister. She's her everything. And I do see the similarities in how they look. TJ comes up again. Dora is like, it's a long time for you not to be getting none, and this, that, and the third, and they catch up about Arabella and all of that. It was a nice little scene, a break from TJ and everything else. So the next scene is Giselle and Nams. They go out on a date, and the date that Nams planned is a salsa dancing date. He lived in Miami for quite some time, so he used to take salsa lessons. So, it looks like a fun date. Giselle seems to really enjoy Nams and vice versa. They definitely have chemistry. Again, Giselle definitely has a type, Jamal Bryant Jr. But do you guys think that they're in it for the long haul? Could this really be a lasting relationship, or is this just some fun? Get down in the comments and let me know. So now we are at the Blue Lagoon party. Karen got some little mermaids flopping around the pool. You got people. I forgot all about Jazzy. I really did. Jazzy shows up with her bow. And then you have Jizzy and Nams. You have Ashley and Josh, her date. And then you have TJ and Stacey, Wendy and Happy Eddie. And then you have Mia. And then you have, of course, Karen and Ray. So they're playing a fun little game. And the first question, they're like asking questions to the group, is, do you think your significant other has cheated on you? And a little fun fact, everybody think Karen has cheated on Ray with this alleged Mr. Blue Eyes. And, production gets the flashing back about the mention of Blue Eyes and so on and so forth. Of course, Ray says no, the girls is gagged. They don't like it. They don't appreciate it. Everybody goes around, and Mia says, I haven't experienced that. But they're like, but you have threesomes. She's like, well, it's not it's not cheating if I'm aware. And I'm like, child. So then Stacey brings up and throws Karen and Giselle under the bus because they told her that she should see other people while she's there in front of TJ. And I'm like, why are you bringing that up? That wasn't a question on the bingo card. So Jizzy was like, well, damn, how I get into it? And then Giselle said, well, since I'm here, you should be seeing a bunch of different penises, different sizes, different colors. And Stacey is acting all prudish, and she's like, well, why would you tell him like that? Well, why did you bring it up? You should have never brought it up. You tried to throw them under the bus. So then the question gets posed to TJ, is he sleeping with anybody else here or in LA? And of course, he doesn't really answer the question. He says the only person he's sleeping with is Bugs Bunny, whatever the hell that means. Well, so the next thing that we have is, them wondering if he's sleeping with anybody else in LA. Of course, he says the Bugs Bunny comment, and that kind of makes people think, like, you're not really answering the question. So he just is becoming more and more of an enigma to the group. It's not really getting him any cool points with them. It's just further pushing the point that she should definitely be open to seeing other people. Now they get to Jazzy, and Jazzy says she's believed there has been some infidelity, but her beau says it didn't happen and she shouldn't be focused on that. But we all know that they got a lot going on that side. He got a whole 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And you talking about y'all been together how many years and ain't no infidelity? Okay, whatever you say. So the next question gets pulled, and they ask who is more dominant or submissive in the situation. And that's the question TJ pulls, and he's like, I'm not a virgin. What? Like, what's going on? So Kay and Wendy say they're submissive. Everybody already feels like Mia's dominant. Mia says she's dominant with Gordon and submissive with Ink because he likes to choke her. Oh my God. TMI. Joshua says he's more dominant. Jazzy boyfriend says he's dominant. Of course. Stacey says she's more dominant. TJ says just because we're not sleeping together now doesn't mean you're going to be more dominant than me. Dun. Okay, girl. Ray says Karen was more dominant in the beginning and she used to tear him up. Jizzy then asks Ray, would he like for Karen's mouth to come out of retirement? And Ray says, of course. And then we see pulling up in the people's backyard is none other than Jacqueline looking for a moment. Okay? So that wraps up this recap. This episode was like kind of like a in between time, in the meantime, a little appetizer before we get to the meat and potatoes. Because guess what? We got the girls trip coming up to Panama, and I can pretty much bet my bottom dollar that trip is going to be Liddy City. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I want to engage with you guys and find out what your thoughts are on the recap. And again, I have a podcast called Conversations with the Fly Aunt. Don't forget to check out that playlist and turn on your notifications so you're notified whenever I post another recap. So until the next episode and the next recap, Auntie loves you. Bye bye.